Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. If you like this podcast, do me a favor real quick and go to whatever podcast app you listen to this on and give us a rating. It really helps get found in the searches and getting in suggested feeds. I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this episode, Hefe's Airsoft Solutions, Skirmesh, and TNT Airsoft. Make sure you guys go check out their content, products, and services. I'll have the links to all of those in the description. Thanks for being here. Let's get into the podcast. Welcome, man.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I cleaned this room like a madman for about 45 minutes.
It looks awesome. It looks so good, bro.
Yeah. I got the foam too. It's behind me.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've got it on both these walls here. This one that you can see, it goes all the way, that whole wall. And then this one is only just part of the wall where the door is, but it really helped. Really helped.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my windows blocked out too, because, gaming during the daytime can't have no glare going.
Right. I know. Yeah, this room, this was my youngest daughter's room, old room, when all the kids were little. Okay. The first handful of years we lived here, this was her room. It was real tiny, but she was really young, like 7 or something. And so she had that little tiny kid's bed in here and a little tiny dresser, and then as she got older, kind of started outgrowing stuff or whatever. So
yeah, I live with one other dude in a house, and I got the whole upstairs to myself, so it's pretty dope.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I can just do whatever I want with here, and that's what I did. It's my little computer room.
I
didn't like having a bed like in the background. I really think that's really gross when people have that like on their streams and stuff. It just kind of grosses me out. So I try to avoid that as much as possible.
Isn't that weird? Like a lot of people like that when they do those posts or streams or videos, whatever, from their bedroom, and it's like their room it's got dirty laundry everywhere, and
it's just like clean.
Bed's all messed up. And
do that somewhere else. I mean, I get it if it's like the only place you can do it, but if it's the only place you can do it, maybe don't do it. I don't
know. Well, it seems to be popular, man. I don't know. It's so weird. Yeah, I kind of wanted a little bit professional look, or kind of a cool looking background, when I do these podcasts. And so I had actually, before I started doing these, this was how the room was set up already. This wasn't set up just for the podcast, but when I was setting up where I was going to put the angle the camera on top of the monitor or whatever, that was kind of like, okay, which wall do I want to do? This wall's not too bad over here with all the panels on it, whatever.
Yeah,
I've got a couple pictures up here, and actually this picture over here was you can't really see. I can't reach out that far, but it is a rattlesnake. Really close up of a rattlesnake, striking, like opening its mouth.
Oh, okay, I can kind of see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually one of the guys I had on here a long time ago, like last year. He's a photographer, and even outside of Airsoft, whatever. So he does nature photography, and his favorite animals are like an owl, stuff like that. And I think he lives in Florida or Texas. I can't remember which one, but
Each state's good for taking pictures of animals.
Yes,
for sure. I live in Tennessee and Nashville, and there's a ton of wildlife everywhere. I work at a golf course, and I could just drive around a golf cart and see probably 12 different species of animals just in 5 minutes. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, man. So what's your call sign in Airsoft, and what's your or game or tag or whatever, what do you go by?
I'm like,
or your name? I don't know.
I got severe ADHD, right? Oh, so shit. Like all my names are different. My Instagram name is from way before I really started playing Airsoft, Mobilo Sutso. there's a picture on my Instagram that I kind of would like you to use. It's of me doing a Power Ranger pose.
Nice.
Not in airsoft gear, just in like t-shirt and shorts. But it's a pretty goofy picture. I think it'd be nice for your thumbnail.
Okay.
The Skirmesh tag I use is IKEA chest rig. For the
IKEA chest rig.
Yeah, for the
How'd you come up
thumbnail,
with
you
that?
can just put Marcus Ref. I don't really care. Like you can put my
Marcus
Instagram
Ref.
handle. I don't really
Okay.
want people to like flock to my Instagram or anything, you know.
Gotcha. Well, is there something you would like to promote for yourself on here, like your skirmish thing or what?
I'll promote Skirmish a
Gamer?
little bit. I'm technically an ambassador for Skirmish.
Yeah.
I'll promote Skirmish a little bit, and I don't really promote myself. I want to promote positive airsoft. That's what I
There
want
you
to
go.
promote. Yeah,
That's good. That's
I want
good.
to promote positive community and being nice to each other. That's what I want to promote.
And not spreading drama,
Yeah,
bro. For real.
trust me. I heard every second of it from every different angle all the time. It's rough. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So go into your background a little bit. Are you from Tennessee? Grew up there?
um, no, I'm from South Carolina. I moved here 2008
Oh
for
shit.
college.
What part of Carolina?
Spartanburg,
Dude, I'm in Simpsonville.
Boylan Springs. Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
really cool. I know where that
I
is.
lived in Boiling Springs for a little while. Years ago
There's a Thai
before.
restaurant in Simpsonville
Uh-huh.
called like Thai Cuisine. It's super good.
I've been there.
I've eaten
Yeah.
there a few times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dude, that's crazy. Okay, I
yeah.
did not
Small
know
small
you were over
world.
here.
Yeah, I
Nice.
my parents live in Spartanburg.
Nice.
Um, I don't go there often. I'm in Nashville currently.
Right.
Moved here since 2008
Okay.
and went to college and then just kind of stuck here. I've been a cook, been a chef my whole adult life. Before I even moved here, I was cooking. It pays the bills. Uh, I
Dude,
quit.
I've had a handful of people on here that are cooks.
Yeah,
Like into
because
cooking, that are chefs, that are
we're,
like
we're
I
all
love
weird
it.
dudes, you know. Weird dudes play airsoft.
Gamers, cosplay, photographers,
Yeah,
chefs, like yeah, man. It's pretty cool. In fact, a couple of podcasts ago, me and the guy were talking about he's a chef and he started out working as a grill cook in a country club in New York when he was like 15 or something,
yeah,
14. And he learned how like really expensive dishes how to make at a young age. And I thought that was really cool, man. Some of these podcasts, bro, we talk about so much food.
yeah. That's what I do every day. Right. I did like a few other jobs. I really tried to get out because like most chefs are alcoholics, ex drug addicts, ex alcoholics, divorcees with kids. Like they're just like miserable. Their bodies are falling apart. They got like robot parts already. It's like so like I don't know, like 25. I was like, I gotta find something else to do. I gotta do something else in my life. And I was like chasing a bunch of different jobs. And everything just kind of just felt wrong and evil. I was just like working for this one company, calling people or they were calling me to fix their phones and stuff when all I was doing was just Googling it. And, you know, I could just teach them how to do that. And then they wouldn't need to call me and I wouldn't need to sell them a credit card or whatever. And, you know, and, like I just felt so evil doing that. So like
Uh,
I did that like two different places kind of. And I couldn't handle that. So I just went back to the kitchens and uh, got fed up with the last kitchen I was working in and just decided to quit one day because I was making good money there and I wasn't hurting. I could take a month off and be all right. And I was playing airsoft like every chance I could. Nashville Airsoft was open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I was going every single day that I had one of those days off.
nice.
I didn't even have a car. I was like
Okay.
paying lifts to get there and back. I was paying like $70 to go play airsoft just in rides.
Holy
Because
shit, bro.
I wanted to play so bad. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. I was just there. 2 days after I quit, and I was talking to the owner. He was showing me t-shirt designs or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, Josh, give me a job. I don't care. I'll scrub your toilets. I may or may not be employed right now. Just give me something. And he started me off at the front desk, making $9 an hour.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I worked my way up pretty quick. I almost had the speed run for management record, and then like I think the new guy in the shop right now beat my record.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So, um, but
you from all these guys like Praetorians and HSA guys that I talk with and I've had on the podcast, and now I talk with them every other day or a couple times a week anyway. For we play Division 2 together. So Pumbaa and
yeah,
Houdini,
those guys are big fans of mine. I
yeah,
appreciate them. They helped me out like so much. Every time like I was like, oh, there's gonna be like 500 people this weekend. I need help. I need reps. They were always there. Like and if they weren't, it was like something important. And someone showed up, like they like called their buddy, like who had nothing to do about airsoft. It was like, hey, I'm here because Craig told me to be here. It's like
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I started. I was barely playing airsoft for like 2 years. I'd like always dabbled in it. Like when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, my mom wouldn't let me touch guns, Nerf guns, nothing.
That's so weird growing up in South Carolina too.
Yeah. My mom was raised in North Carolina. My dad had, a safe this big, full of guns the whole time and no idea. Because like she didn't want me knowing anything about them or touching guns or playing with toy guns or anything. So like I never got to play with airsoft guns until I was like 17. My friends in the neighborhood had just bought a bunch of them. Like they all just got into it, and we played a few times in the woods in our backyard.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun. But, we did that like maybe 3 times, and then I'd like bought a handful of like little crappy springers from like flea markets and stuff. I feel like I've always had an airsoft gun since I've been about 17, but I've never played it. There was a place down the road. There was a place maybe about 10 years ago. I don't remember what it was called, but it was in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and it was an airsoft field. And I always saw it, and I was like, what is that? Do people go out there and shoot toy guns at each other? That's probably pretty fun. I never saw it happening. I just saw the field.
Yeah.
Because, they only do that stuff on the weekend. So I never got into it. And one day I was like feeling real fat. And I'm like, dude, I was failing at the gym because the gym just felt like work, and like music wasn't making it any better. Like music makes work better. I get to listen to music while I'm being a chef, and I usually get to listen to what I want to listen to. And
that's good.
Yeah, and it makes the work better. Whistle while you work. But like I just hated the gym. It just was so much work and just like sucked, and and it wasn't fun. So I was like, I got to find something that I can put equal amount of effort in and still get as much cardio and weightlifting as I can out of, and have fun while I'm doing it. So I was like looking at all these things, and I watched a handful of airsoft videos on YouTube at the time. I was like, hey, you know what? There's an airsoft field, whatever, 20 minutes away. I talked to my roommate into it. Let's go where airsoft's out playing airsoft. And then we went to Nashville. We went on a Saturday, and I want to say back then they were open for the whole day. I want to say we showed up like 11, and we didn't leave until they closed. We were one of the last people out, and I remember being tired, but I don't remember being tired until I got home and I couldn't walk down steps without feeling like I was just going to tumble down them. So like I had to go down steps backwards for a couple days, and I was like, dude, I got to do this all the time. I ran so much. I've never run that much and had that much fun since like I was a child. Like I've got to do this all the time. And then I just started doing it all the time. I bought a gun off of Amazon like that night,
Nice.
And then realized that was a dumb mistake, and progressed from there. I've got all my all my favorites back here, all
Nice.
in their bags. Got some real
Okay.
rare jewels over there.
You gonna show them off?
Yeah, if you're cool with that. Some of them
Absolutely.
I pretty much only was able to get because I worked at an airsoft field, so I feel like I have to disclose that. Like I got like first-hand pick for a lot of things. Like there's like a 1 in 1,000 lever action back there.
Oh
Uh,
shit. Okay.
Stuff like that.
I just
Um,
saw somebody's post. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Evic. Some one of the Instagrams I followed that just showed off one of the 1887s lever action. You
this
know,
one's the saddle gun. That's what this one
gotcha,
is. Yeah,
dude. Those are awesome. Okay.
yeah. And I've got a Mosin and a super worked Mauser. The guy, the
Oh,
tech at Nashville, Dylan, he put it together. He's like a cosplay guy. He likes to do cosplays and stuff and sew stuff together. He
yeah.
like went to thrift stores and found a real Mauser holster and stock and like put it all on the airsoft gun and made it all look all fancy.
Hmm.
Stuff like that. I got some cool stuff right there. Uh,
That's cool.
I've also got a list of stuff I want to talk about. Are we doing it right now? Is this happening?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
already.
cool.
This is how they go, man. I don't have a
Okay, cool.
format, so if somebody wants to talk about certain things, you go right ahead. I leave it open for people because this is about them, not about me.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Well,
So
I'm not trying to
absolutely.
make this about 100% me, and there's like
No,
things that
like
I'd like to
you,
talk
like
about, like
whatever the
what
guest wants to talk about.
things that I
Hmm.
like about airsoft, and I think that other people
Yeah.
do. Uh, and like I said, I really want to promote positive play. It's like when people are pissing you off, dude, just shake it off. It's a game, you know. It's like so I had that speech every 5 games. I feel like every weekend. You know,
I'm
it's like
sure. Well, see, you have a lot of experience with that because you were a ref at an indoor
for
field.
I was a ref for. I was there for 2 years. I was ref for like maybe a year and 3/4 of it.
Gotcha.
Uh, I worked at the front desk, and then I was there for like a month or two, maybe, and filled in and ref positions when I could, did everything else I could. And then one day the head ref was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. You want to be the head ref?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right, cool." So I did that,
Nice.
and uh, it's like one of the things I
Pass the
started.
torch on.
Yeah, one of the things I started doing like immediately was I didn't put in my list up here that I do want to touch on is like I
Okay.
started. It's an indoor field, right? I started Pumbaa. It uploaded a video like my second week as head ref,
Yeah.
first or second week. Pumbaa uploaded a video of like a couple weeks ago of, and the thumbnail was like, and the caption was like, "I busted my ass at Nashville Airsoft" or something, and or I had a nice trip at Nashville Airsoft. So like, yeah, he slipped on a bunch of BBs and film, and like I was just like, dude, that's a problem. And that day that I was like, this is a problem. I was like, we were playing Stickman. Stickman's one of our favorite games that I don't think a lot of fields play. A lot of some fields do. They call it like Ghost or Reapers.
Okay.
Uh, Refs run around with swords, fake swords, foam Nerf weapons and stuff,
Yeah.
and they'll chase you. And if they hit you, you're out, and you
Hmm.
can still die from getting shot.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah, it's just like a get chased game. It's real fun. Everybody loves it. We're
That's
playing
cool.
that, and I was chasing this like 10-year-old, and he slipped on a bunch of BBs and like really fell hard. And I was just like, all right, I'm staying after work today, and I'm sweeping up as much of these BBs as possible. And then
Nice.
it just became a weekly thing. Like every Wednesday, I'd come in and I'd spend all day Wednesday and most of Thursday, and even sometimes a little bit Friday before play, getting every single BB I could off that floor. So like people were coming in Fridays to a virtually BB-less airsoft field.
Damn.
And like it's nothing you have to worry about in an outdoor field because you just stamp them into the dirt. You
Right.
know, they just like disappear basically on their own. But at an indoor field, those things collect over time, and
Uh-huh.
especially if like all your buildings are touching the floor, they're collecting in those corners and
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
floors, and it's like you want to hug those corners because those corners are going to save your life from getting beamed. You know, it's like
Uh-huh.
you're going to get in those corners and you're going to fall, and then you're beamed, and then it's just like, man, I paid $20, $30 to be here to slip around. Like it got to a point when I was a player where I would go to the store for shoes to play in, and I would bring a handful of BBs in my pocket. And I'd like go to the store and I'd find some shoes that I'd like, and then I'd turn them over and I'd be like, "Oh, all right, well, BB's gonna get stuck in here because I'm just gonna turn my shoes into ice skates, and then I'm gonna, slip and fall."
You're gonna biff it, yeah.
And I'm 33 now, and I can't be slipping and falling,
Yeah, we don't heal as fast anymore.
No, okay? Exactly. So, so it's like, so that's one of the things I started doing like all the time, and I just tried to make sure that field was as BB-less as possible every single week, and it was an absolute chore.
I've heard. Oh, I'm sure. I've heard people do. Somebody was telling me that they used a leaf blower.
We use leaf blowers.
Yeah.
And then what I'd do is I'd use leaf blowers and I'd blow everything to the perimeter of the field, which was a cement block walls, four cement block walls, and I would go with a broom and just scoop up those piles and dump them in random cardboard barrels that were all over the map that we used as cover and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep. That was one of those things that I did, and the reason I wanted to talk about that first is because I swear it got so unnoticed. Oh man, I got so salty so often. Just like, man, do you know that I spent 15 hours this week alone sweeping these BBs? And it's like people, they got the thing, like I'm not mad about it anymore, but they got the thing where they like want to dump all their BBs before the match even starts. And, like when I've been playing since I've been an adult, so I've been paying for every single one of my BBs. So I get the make sure your gun works, like, shoot a couple, make sure it's sighted in or whatever, but to just like dump in your mag before the game, I just like don't understand. Just like, who pays for your BBs? Not you, obviously. And it's like, and then like, and they do it after the game, and it's a paintball thing too. And I think it's a paintball thing because they go bad, right? I don't play much paintball.
Yeah.
But the balls go bad, so you got to dump them all.
Right. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think that's just how it kind of bled over there. But it's just like, people are just like, full autoing the wall before a game, and there's no full auto on the field, and they're not supposed to do that in the first place, and then they just do that, and then it's just like there's 60 BBs on the floor that I gotta sweep up on Wednesday. It's like it's like it happens. BBs are gonna go on the floor, right? We're playing a game where we're shooting BBs everywhere. I'm not that mad about it, but just the excessive dumping, and then like sometimes kids would come up to those barrels that I would put them in, and they just scoop a handful out and throw them at each other, and I'm just like,
what?
Yeah, or like we had to tell rentals all the time to not put the barrel BBs in their guns because they would just like take their mags out and just scoop them up.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure they've got mid caps only now, so that won't happen anymore.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
unless they put them in their Odin.
Right? Yeah, they got an Odin out there. They're just scooping barrel BBs out of.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you worked at the field, like you said, 2 years. Or almost 2 years, and so you probably saw a lot of different things, with that, like things that most people don't talk about or notice because they didn't, work at the field. They just played. So yeah, the BB issue is one, like BBs on the floor.
Yeah,
is definitely one of those things for indoor fields, whatever, with concrete. I think I wonder how Shot Zone is, how they clean it up because they have that turf,
They probably vacuum it, or it just goes into the turf. I don't know. I've actually never been to Shot Zone. I'm not well traveled. I want to travel so bad. I've just been not very well traveled. Finally have a job now where I can start doing stuff like that. I got to fix my car first. My transmission's shot, so I can't really drive anywhere. It's been kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not very well traveled. I've never been to Shot Zone. And every time everything cool was going on, when I was an Airsoft ref, I had to be there and be an Airsoft ref. Yeah. So I couldn't go anywhere and do anything. Like while I was there, I went to ACS. I went to as many of their events as possible.
Okay.
And Ballahack for Rev. That was like pretty much the extent of my going and playing Airsoft at other places.
Yeah.
pretty much only exclusively played it in Nashville.
Gotcha. How was your Rev experience?
Man, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Should I go full honest? Because
Sure.
this is something that I really want to do, and I've been trying to do.
Well, this is
Not as much
this is
lately.
your personal experience. This isn't,
Right.
you're not, if it's negative, that's your experience. It's not you're not downing Ballahack or the field or the person who runs it or anything like that. You're just, we listen, man, a lot of these bigger events, even like the NSL tournament, the very first one in America, was it was there was a lot of disorganization going on. There were some things that were like, and they still ran it. It was still good. Like the majority of it was good, but there was still, not everything's gonna be perfect. It's
Right.
okay.
And I
Like, we
totally
can talk about
understand
that.
that
Yeah,
because coming from a
for
guy who's
sure.
tried to run airsoft events, that
Okay.
when I started working there and I started being the head ref, like I wanted to start doing like events like ref. I wanted to do stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
was like talking to Josh, and I was like, Josh, let's find a venue. You find any place, I'll come up with a story, a backline, rules, like I'll do it all. Just find me a place. Let's run some cool role play event. And because I'm a huge gamer, all this stuff back here is all fantasy role playing, tabletop stuff.
Okay.
I play tons
Like
of
what?
video games. I've
D
got
and D.
D&D's. This
Okay.
shelf is all D&D. This shelf is
Warhammer.
all other stuff. I don't mess with Warhammer mostly because it's
Okay.
extremely expensive, and I've just decided not to dabble in that. Kind of like the cocaine of
Uh huh.
games, it's like real expensive. So I've got a bunch of cool other games up there. Power Rangers RPG, Tales from the Loop, which is one of my favorites. Fallout, Call of Cthulhu, Burning Wheel, bunch of different RPG stuff. I
Nice.
love games. I play games, and I love creating stories and
Right.
creating stories with people, and that's what all those are all about. And you do that when you go to an event like Rev. At least you're
Mm-hmm.
hoping.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was like, yeah, I want to run events like that. I want to run big role play events with like specific rules, like you can get hit certain places, or like you can heal with armbands, looting, all kind of like
Mm-hmm.
I want to do stuff like this. I have like a document, maybe like 20 something pages, just slammed full of rules and ideas. Not really, kind of just like an ADHD, puke of words. But
Right.
yeah, that's what I've wanted to do this whole time, and I was trying so hard to do, and I wanted to go to an event like Rev, to
Yeah.
like, because I've never actually done a airsoft roleplay event besides like
Right.
Trouble in Terrorist Town at NA, probably the
Okay.
closest thing to that happens regularly there.
Yeah. So how was Rev all together? Like,
Rev,
did you go by yourself?
I went with my good buddy Curtis, and we got a B&B. We road tripped. It was so fun. We had a blast. Uh, Getting there. We fronted our guns, and it was cool. We dressed up, and we were there. And I want to say the first day, it was 2 days, right? The first day, I'm like 2 hours in, and I just start noticing that like everybody, like 50 to 60% of the people there are just dressed like it's a regular ass day of airsoft. Like they just got their nice clean combat uniforms on and their cry, and like
Okay.
it was like kind of upsetting me that not everybody was dressed appropriately, especially because like in the rules, I swear in all caps it says if you're not dressed like post-apocalyptic, and they're pretty lenient about that. You can go with a flannel and a chest rig and be like, I'm post-apocalyptic. Look like your
Gotcha.
division. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that works,
Blue
right? You
Jean
can
operator thing.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. You could do that. That works. I'm okay with that. Uh, but like guys are out here in their like crisp, clean combat uniforms and patches and plate carriers and
Did
sights and
not look
lasers and
post-apocalyptic.
flashlights and stuff, and like stuff that they like were very explicit. Was like, hey, you can't have this stuff. And, it's got you're supposed to be a character, play the vibe.
Right.
And I was just like noticing this, and I was getting a little upset by that. And I was trying not to because I really wanted to enjoy myself. But, I paid like $200 for the ticket. I'm trying to have a good
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and I paid
Not
however
get that.
much to get there and for the B&B,
Uh-huh.
and just trying to have a good time. And I was working at Airsoft, so I wasn't making crazy money. So
Yeah.
uh, so we tried real hard to like do objectives. We did objectives, and we were trying real hard to find a stim pack because we just kept dying. We just kept getting killed,
yeah.
and we had to go respawn. And it took 3 minutes to respawn.
Okay.
So if you got killed and looted and you had to go respawn, by the time you got back to that area, those people were long gone, and which I'm totally okay with. And I think makes for really cool gameplay because then you're like, all right, do I hunt those dudes down or do I just say I lost it and I'm going to keep going? You know, like I like that a lot. So I was like, cool, but I want stim pack. We're a duo. One of us needs a stim pack. So we just spent the rest of the day trying to find stim packs and then we ran out of time, which is my first complaint. It's very, very short. Very short.
2 days?
It's like they say it starts at whatever 8. I want to say first day we got out there at 11:30 when the game started, and
because they had to go over all the
something and people were in something I don't really remember. So
that sucks.
4:45, 4:30 hits, and then they like send out the killers, the people that, and you can't once you die, you die. It's like it's at game over time, and killers got sent out. Me and my buddy had a good time with one of those guys. It was pretty fun, honestly. Shout out to whoever that dude was who killed me. That was a good time. I never got to thank you for that. Yeah. So, which is another thing.
Are these just like bounty hunters that just come out with the?
That year it was Rev 11. That year it was hunter predators, guys in predator costumes. They were called hunters. And they all had like M249s and stuff, and they were just like, you know.
Whoa!
I think most of their guns stopped working, and then they just had to resort to just like using their foam daggers they had on their arms and stuff. That's how the guy who killed me. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. No, you couldn't kill them, right?
No.
They were kind of like a juggernaut. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Juggernaut kind of rules there. And then like, you know, if you got shot by anybody past that point, you couldn't revive or something.
There's no respawn.
Yeah, no respawn, no medic.
So this is in what, November or December?
This was December.
It's probably they probably end it a little earlier because of it gets dark.
Yeah,
like 5:30, 6 o'clock,
and
especially if you're in the woods.
Yeah, and I've played a little bit of Dark in the Woods Airsoft, and I get why a lot of places don't do that because you just like trip on a tree branch,
bro.
Yeah,
broken ankles, broken knees.
I really get that. That sucks so bad. I feel like you can only do that with like, you know, 10 people and everybody's on comms. Like even the enemy, you know, it's like you got to be able to communicate because like, what if somebody does break their neck? You know. Yeah, I get it. It's way cool. Dark outdoor airsoft is peak airsoft.
Yeah,
but you will probably hurt yourself. And I get that, but like. So it was really short. I feel like that was my number one first day complaint. That it was really short, and that there was a lot of people there that just looked like it was just an average day at Airsoft for them.
Gotcha.
And these were the people that were killing me too.
The vibe.
Yeah, and they were literally killing me too, and that was like upsetting. It's like, oh, it's like, you know, you can kill me and take my money, but like dress the part, you know?
Right.
Yeah, like. So second day. Starts a little better. I think we started more close to the start time, and we tried to milk as much as we could out of it. And I started noticing that like all the NPCs, all the people that were running it, were just looking so exhausted because there was a lot of people there. People there, like 1,000 plus, like 1,700 or something like that.
Right. That's a lot.
Yeah, and they were just like, I want to say an hour, 2 hours, and they were just looking so over it and exhausted, and it was just so blatant all over their face. No matter what they were saying in character and doing, it just I could just tell that these people wanted to go home, and that really took it out for me like immediately. And it got to the point where. Without like, I'm going to try to say this without pointing out who it was I was helping. Got to a point where this one dude had like this crazy line of people, and he had to do a thing for all of them individually. And I was just like, hey man, for 5 caps, I'll help you out, you know? And he was like, all right, cool, here's 5 caps. And then I just started like helping him run his show for like an hour because like he was so overwhelmed and like I could just see it. And people were like, you know, airsofters are very weird people. I said that earlier. And, you know, he was dealing with like 40 of them.
Oh yeah.
And, and like, I was just like, dude, I got to help this dude out. So I spent like an hour that day helping that dude out, doing his thing.
Okay.
And then Curtis and I met up with one of the guys that we talked with in the parking lot before the game started. Said he'd been playing it forever. And he was like, yeah, all right. So like, you guys do your thing, but I might be able to help you out with something. You come find me. All right. And so we're like, all right, cool. So we went and tried to find that guy, and then we found him, and then we went into like an NPC tent with him, and he sold us. I'm pretty sure he gave it to us for free. He gave us a stim pack, and we were like, "Oh, we got a stim pack!" And then we were like super excited about it, and we were trying to play it cool because we were in this NPC tent, and we knew people were going to see us walk out of it. But we knew that people knew this guy wasn't an NPC that we were walking out of it with. So like we were like, "Oh, maybe we're cool," It's like they'll just be like, "Oh, that's just some guys." Maybe they're just like had to take their mask off or something. I don't know. So we get out, we start going away. We start going down this little path that's near their pond at Ballahack, and these like kids and their full crispy, like 16-year-old, 14-year-olds, and their full crispy panda wannabe fuzzy pig rig combat uniforms, looking all crisp and clean, smelling like nice laundry, gunned us all down. And then we're trying to loot us with the loot technique. So they have 30 seconds to loot us. So when you get shot, you put your rag on and you count to 30, and they can loot you, and they can be like, "Hey, give me such and such caps and any quest items you have." And you have to give it to him. And he just asked for the quest item. That he was like, "Give me the quest item you just got. Give me the quest item you just got." And I'm like, "I didn't get a quest item. I didn't get a quest item." And I'm not lying to him because I just got a stim pack. And I'm like trying so hard to not have attitude with this kid. Just like, being a grown man trying to have a fun time at a nerdy airsoft event. And I was just like looking at him and his gear, and I'm just like, I didn't get a quest item. I didn't get a quest item. And I just like ruined the day for me, honestly. And then I don't remember what we did after that. I just kept seeing more and more tired NPCs, and that was like kind of did it for me. We just kind of wandered around. I think we ate a hot dog and find people, and we're like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, you're killing these people. All right, you need some help." We were just doing stuff like that the rest of the day. And
okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of the NPCs. There's a lot of like zombies walking around too, right?
For this one, there was just NPCs, and then there was like the hunters at the end. No zombies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the NPCs were like shop owners,
this one's like Fallout, not the zombie one. This is the like post-apocalyptic. You buy and trade things with bottle caps.
Okay.
And they have their own special bottle caps and stuff. And
I'm thinking of their Rev, or their zombie event where they have a bunch of zombies walking around. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
Are you a? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I've got a younger brother and an older sister.
So you're in the middle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I not.
You could tell that?
I could tell that, yes.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm a middle child, so
yeah.
I relate with a lot of what you're saying. So the things that you notice that I like things to fit right in order, and make sense or whatever, and everyone should be held to the same standard kind of thing. And so I get why you were like, "Hey, bro, these guys are over here. Like it said in the rules, this, and this." I'm a lot that way too. Although I'm not like, it sounds like you're not either, but like I'm not gonna go tell on somebody.
Yeah, I didn't say anything to anybody.
Right, I just
kept playing the game.
Exactly.
It's like
and every time would bother me, but I'm not gonna go tell on somebody. It's just, it's more of a, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, come on. But also the helping people out thing. I'm the same way. If I just notice these things that I thought everyone was like this. I thought everyone would walk around like in life, and if they see some, they're aware of their surroundings, and they see somebody that needs help, or they see something that isn't getting done.
Hey, I'll probably
like
help that person out.
No one told you to sweep the floor at the, to get rid of all the BBs. You saw something happen, and you're like, hey, I have a solution, I'm going to do it, and you're not afraid to do the work for it. Same way. So yeah, I notice these things with people, and they're it's so funny because I've said that so many times with I think with a lot of people on here, just in
Right.
life in
And then
general.
you find out they are middle child or whatever they
Yeah, or even the older child. Like I'm like, because I've read, I don't know everything. I'm not always right, but sometimes I have that where somebody's talking about their story, and I'm like, "Were you the oldest child?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." So, or do you have younger siblings? Because I remember asking, somebody I talked with a long time ago on here, and she said something like, and I said, "Are you the oldest, or are you the youngest, or something, whatever it was?" And she goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I was like, "Okay, yeah." And she said, "Well, yep, okay." The Because that was, I think, the way it came up was the her older brother didn't like her. They didn't get along as well as he was the middle child, and and she was the youngest, and they didn't get along as well as she got along with the older one or whatever. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's because you're the baby of the family or something. You know how it is, man. It's a
Yeah.
pretty common dynamic that happens with siblings in a family unit. With
Yeah, it was like we couldn't play with guns, me and my brother, when I was a kid.
yeah, yeah,
But when all the kids in the neighborhood got airsoft guns, like a week later, my brother had one. It's like if I was 16 or whatever he was at the time, was like, I want an
yeah.
airsoft gun, they would be like, hell no,
Isn't that wild? Yeah, I had the same thing. I grew up the same way. My mom, was like, no, you can't play with any guns. And then my dad was like, when I was turned 12, my 12th birthday, he got me a BB gun, my first Daisy BB gun, one pump, and my mom was mad. She's like, "Well, you can't keep it in the house." So I kept it in the house, kept it in my room. I actually had a little gun rack that I can't remember who gave it to me or whatever, how I got it, but I hung it up, and I was so proud of that thing. I shot so many birds at that. Okay,
Yeah, I was thinking about putting some kind of rack over here.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. The
So the overall thing at Rev, you had mostly it was like a cool
It
experience,
was
but
cool, but there was too many people there. It
yeah,
was too short, and I think then it goes back to the first one with my third complaint about the overworked NPCs. I feel like if there was less, if they were standing at the door and were like, "Hey, you're not dressed appropriately.
right.
Go fix that." I
Hmm.
think that those NPCs wouldn't have been always overworked. It's like if they like something like that, because they would have those guys would have had to go home and change, leave, figure something else out real quick.
Yeah.
Uh, go out there in their boxers, even like it's like, what do you do? It's like, they'd have to figure something out, and that would take time, which would give all the people that were dressed right time to go handle those NPCs and give them a nice character-driven moment. And because like I do all these role-playing games, I have a hard time like being a character, even as a dungeon master. Everybody talks the same. Everybody in the world, they all talk the same. They're all talking like me. It works. People enjoy it. It's not like it takes away from the experience or anything. Uh,
What you change your voice? Like
no,
how do you
I,
talk as
I
a
don't.
dungeon
I
master?
kind of always thought it was cringy. I change my voice every now and then, but like I've always thought it was really cringy. So when I'm a dungeon master, everyone just sounds exactly like me. It's like, oh, you're talking to the girl at the pub or the guy at the pub. They both are saying and talking exactly the same way. I never really like changed my voice or anything. So like whenever I
Okay.
was there, I just kind of talked the same. But I tried to like talk in character, but I swear every time I did, I was just grinning. Like it's like oh, I had a Predator vinyl figurine, and I was like, "Oh, I have this effigy of the hunters. How much would you pay me for it?" It's like I just
I
was
think
doing
that's
something.
cool.
Yeah, it's like and then that's what the people that are dressed like appropriately are gonna do, and then that's what's gonna get the people that are working there like excited to be there and a part of something. And then you got all these nerds in their regular airsoft stuff. I really think that was like if there was people there turning away, which and I also get like they want to make money. I get that we live in a
Yeah.
capitalist society and everything's driven by money. I totally understand that, but it's like I feel like I was paying for an experience and I didn't get it, and I'm
I
not going to
wonder
complain
how.
about it, this
Well,
is me
no.
complaining about it, I guess, but
Yeah, but you're not. I mean, not really. You're not being
I'm
too
not
negative
calling
or
foul
nothing.
a
It's
hack
just.
and be like, hey, you guys need to fix this.
I wonder if they're. Yeah, I wonder how they could fix it though, because so somebody, you buy your ticket online, right? A lot of
Right.
people, probably majority of people, buy them ahead of time, and so how does let's say,
I think
how
the
do the
big thing
field, how do they fix it? Like, because
I
if
think the
somebody
big thing
shows
is you just
up,
got to limit the number of tickets, and well, that's what a lot of those milsims do. I've
well,
never been to a
that
milsim, but they limit the number of tickets
they
so that
limit
so it's like
to fit
it's like I know
the
you want to make money, right? I know you want to sell
right.
1,700 tickets at $200 a
Well,
piece,
that's an easy fix. I'm
but if you
talking about the people showing up in out of uniform.
at a uniform, yeah.
Hmm.
So you limit it to 200 tickets, but then half of them are still out of uniform.
Right.
How do you fix that?
Yeah. See, I don't know
I
how
guess
you.
you go to Goodwill and just clean them out and just
You
have
know
a
what you could do?
rack of clothes and be
I
like, hey,
wonder
here you
if.
go,
What
and you're
about
just like,
doing like a punishment system when they get there? If especially like a role play event like like you were at, where when they get there, anyone that's out of uniform, like blatantly out of uniform, or real obviously out of uniform for that event, they're like, okay, how you have to register or check in and whatever when you get there, have them put them off in a separate group. Okay, you guys go over here. When they check in, like whoever is checking them in or registering, uh, anyone that's out, this is a rule for the admins at the field. Anyone that checks in is out of uniform, send them over here, and or shows up to the field to play that day. Send them over here in this group, and then they have this group of whatever 30 people that didn't dress appropriately for that event, and you can have like I don't know, you flog them or something. I don't know.
or
Whip them, shoot them. Everybody shoot them.
or like like trail it Peters them through the
Yeah, trail it.
course.
Right. Like, well, at least it
That's
make
so
them
bad. I should be
make it
laughing.
a make it a thing where they're in the stockade or something that's
Something,
appropriate
right?
for
The
that
event,
event.
right?
The punishment would fit kind of the event, vibe or whatever,
Or
and
like
that's how you
NPCs would
start the
just be
event.
like,
That's how you start the event. That way they know, okay, I mean, I'm not going to go, they're not going to leave. They're not going to, refund their ticket. They can still play. But in the beginning, we're going to embarrass the shit out of you, okay? And not so much that they're going to, go cry or nothing. Just like,
right.
hey,
I feel like
you
if I
should have
was
showed up like this and you didn't. So here's your punishment. And then at the end, everyone else, all you guys can, give a big group hug and be like, all right, let's go play. All right, you took your punishment. Now next time, okay,
that's
we're
right.
gonna flog you worse.
I feel like if I was an NPC in an event, I'm definitely a little bit of a rebel. I like to ask for forgiveness as opposed to permission most
Right.
of the time. So like if I was an NPC at an event like that and they weren't being strict on the dress code and I felt like that was an important part of the aspect, I wouldn't talk to people that weren't dressed right. I'd just be like, I don't talk to strangers every time they'd come
Yeah.
around. I'd just give them some kind of NPC line like, you look too weird. I don't like you. I just give them something like that,
You could do
I'd just not talk to them.
no, give
Yeah.
him the infamous glitch out thing that happens in Fallout all the time. The guy behind the bar or something, and his mug gets glitches out, and he glitches out, and he can't turn around right, and he can't talk to you right. And it's
Yeah,
like,
just start moving weird and just avoid them as much as possible. That's definitely what I would do. And if I got in
yeah.
trouble for that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry. They're not dressed appropriately.
That's funny. Hell yeah, man. So you've been to one big? Is that you said
That's
that was your only big event
pretty
like
much
that?
it. I went to the last original Noob Day. Have you heard of Noob Day at all? Noob Day was an event at originally held at Bad Karma Airsoft, which was like number 3 airsoft field in the country, like
What?
highly rated airsoft field. And I only played there the last Noob Day, and it was the most magical outdoor airsoft field I've ever
What?
stepped foot on.
Where's this
And
at? In
it
Tennessee?
Lebanon, Tennessee, so it's like 30, 40
Really?
minutes away from here. Uh, it had like 7 or 9 different courses, different little villages. There was this one like super whimsical treehouse-ish village. Like every tree had multi-level structures. Like I swear there was one that had like 5 different rooms that went up this tree. And
Oh my
like
God.
it was real dangerous, right? Because no one was maintaining this stuff, and when I was out there, it was like super wet and slippery. Like there was no steps; it was just inclines up a lot of things, so you were just like slipping down.
Holy
It was such a great field, and they sold it. The guy who owned the land and ran it sold the land to someone to turn it into a dirt bike track or something for their kids, and now no one can play airsoft there anymore. Rip, bad karma. Everyone's super sad about it, and yeah, and I only experienced the last Noob Day there. That was all I ever got to do. And then ACS runs Noob Day now. They took it over.
Okay.
And I've
so
gone
what is
what's
the event like? What are
the first Noob Day? That was
Yeah.
probably 400 to 600 people. Woo. And it was green team and black team, and they played like maybe 4 30-40 minute games, and I don't know, it was chaos. And from what I hear, it's just what it was every year. It was just, hey, you just go play airsoft. The best part about it for me was we showed up Friday night and camped out the whole weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, or Saturday night, and then packed up Sunday and left. And that was the best part for me. That's something that I don't do at the new Noob Day that I wish I could. They just don't have a lot of land for camping and stuff. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Well, what was that like? How is it set up? What do you have to do?
So yeah,
like, what's different about it?
Bought it. What's different about it now? It's basically the same.
No, what do you like? What if I want? Why do people go to Noob Day? What is it?
Noob Day is for you to bring your friends who've never played airsoft. That's what it's for. So like you play airsoft, but your friends won't because they're weenies and they're like, I don't want to get shot. So you bring them to Noob Day. And they get hosed in the woods by some 40-year-old dude with an HPA gun, and then they're like, "This is awesome! I'm going to do this all the time now." No, that's the idea. And I will say that I probably the bulk of Noob Day goers are not noobs, which does kind of suck. The last Noob Day at ACS had a lot of noobs. They did free rentals. So that's how they got that. So if you bought a pass, you got a free rental if you didn't have anything. So lots of people that didn't have airsoft guns and never played airsoft before actually showed up to Noob Day.
Dude, they must have a shit ton of.
They've got like 100 something rentals. And yeah, and then you got all the guys like me who love airsoft and want to be positive and make sure you have a good time too. And so like we're there, helping the noobs. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Yeah.
What a cool event, though, because at least, you get all these new guys out where you all, who are veteran airsoft players, can go out there and teach them, like, hey, call your hits, dumbass, okay?
Yeah.
This is what you do in airsoft, okay?
This is how you put the mag in. And smoke grenades are a huge thing. They've always been a huge thing. Grenades, period, in Noob Day. Mm-hmm. But, like, smoke grenades are always just insane. Mm-hmm. And this year they weren't because my buddy bought them all. So nobody had any smoke grenades because my buddy had them all in his truck. They didn't have a lot. I don't think he really knew he was buying every single one of them, but he definitely bought them all. Nobody.
Well, dude, that one guy I just talked with, the podcast came out within the last week or so. He said one of the events they went to, it was a big Milsim event, and they, him and his team, they bought every single tag-in round at the event. So they weren't planning on doing that, but when he went in there, he knows one of the guys from Airsoft Junkies, and the guy said, "Hey man, do you guys looking for tag-ins? These are the only ones we have left." The guy that ordered this whole box or whatever, it was 2 boxes or whatever it was. Their team didn't show up, or they didn't pick these up, or they got they aren't buying them or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'll buy them. So they ended up buying all of them so that nobody else at the field could have them.
I was at ACS right before, just randomly, because I try to go there as much as possible. I was at ACS right before the Russian munition ban happened, and they had 2 of their RGD-5 Russian hand grenades tag-ins left, and I bought both of them, and I still have. That was like almost a year plus ago, and I'm just like, they're just sitting in my grenade case and my airsoft stuff, and I'm just like, I just don't want to use them because I spent whatever $13 on them, and now they're like a banned product. It's like don't want to use it.
Dude,
so
look,
I bring it every time I go outdoors, and I never
build a plexiglass case for it, like a trophy case.
Yeah, right.
Okay, mount it in there on a piece of nice, stained wood, make it really nice and shit, and put that shit on eBay or whatever. Somebody pay $1,000 for that fucking grenade. Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. So we talked about Rev. I haven't watched every single episode of yours. How you guys talk about Skirmesh? You do a little bit where you talk about it. Ad break. Skirmesh is the future of Airsoft. If you don't know that, podcast viewer, Skirmesh is the future of Airsoft.
Matter of fact, since we're talking about this,
I've got my hat and gloves.
This episode is sponsored by Skirmesh, the future of Airsoft gameplay management. Are you ready to take Airsoft to the next level? Skirmesh's innovative gameplay management solution tracks your every move, helping you dominate the field and achieve your full potential. Capture objectives, detonate targets, medic and more at Skirmesh-enabled fields. We track every action so you don't have to. Review, replay past games action by action and follow your progress in national rankings. Phones are not required. Get connected with the only system that tracks your Airsoft progress. If you want to find out more, check out episode 157 where I talk with the owner of Skirmesh about how it started and how it works. Visit skirmesh.net to check it out and watch games across the nation. Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than JefesAirsoftSolutions.com. Their founding principle is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is to make a difference in the Airsoft community and serve each of their customers with the utmost respect. Be part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow Airsofters in their Discord server. Here you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Don't wait any longer. Join today and start enjoying all that Jefes Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together we can make a difference in the community. Are you tired of the same old, impersonal Airsoft experience? Looking for a place that feels like home? Look no further than TNT Airsoft, where we treat you like family. At TNT Airsoft, we're not just another Airsoft field. We're a family-run business that knows how to make your Airsoft experience truly unforgettable. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time player, our dedicated staff is here to ensure you have a blast. From the moment you step onto our field, you'll feel the warmth and camaraderie that only a family-run business can provide. And the best part? Our community is like no other. You'll make lifelong friends who share the same passion for Airsoft as you do. TNT Airsoft isn't just a place to play and shop. It's a place where memories are made, where bonds are formed, and where you become part of our extended family, so don't settle for an average Airsoft experience. Join the TNT Airsoft family today and discover a whole new level of excitement, camaraderie, and fun. Check us out online at tntairsoft.net.
Yeah, you got the hat too. Yeah, I got the hat right back here.
I haven't got to use these yet.
Yeah, you got the gloves too, you fucker.
Yeah, okay. These are sick though.
Bro.
And I really want to figure out a way to get this in like the fingertip, so like you could just like do a finger.
Yeah. Now where is it out on the top, right?
Yeah, it's like goes in right here.
Okay.
Like top of your,
yep, right on top of your hand. Yeah. So you do the same kind of motion like you do with the bracelet, just tap like that. Okay.
But now your fingertips are covered for when all the people are shooting at you when you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool,
Skirmesh.
Well, how did you become an ambassador for them, or how did you find out about Skirmesh?
He cold called NA.
Yeah.
I think he only had KDK at the time. Brandon cold called NA, and Joel, the shop manager at the time, it's my good buddy. He answered the phone. And, Joel's kind of a yes man. He was just like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome. I don't really understand it. You should come by." And so he came by. Jackson, the general manager, and I at the time, who was also someone I want to talk about a little bit, because Jackson's the best, and I miss him, and he's in Chicago now doing something, being an actor. I don't know. Yeah, he was the general manager at the time. He and I came in on a Tuesday on our day off and hung out with Brandon all day while he explained to us how Skirmesh worked, and like he was telling me And I've been spending a lot of time on the PC. I know how all this works. Basically, it was all I was wrapping my head around it immediately, and just like immediately, just like cooking up like ways that I could use this and utilize it, and the potential. And Jackson wasn't getting it. And it was like real hard for him to understand. And I'm just like, Jackson, this is great. Just say yes. All right, please. And he's like, yeah, all right, we'll try it out. And we tried it out, and we started doing the monthly. And I haven't been in a while. The last time I was there, they weren't using it because someone like shoulder checked one of the boxes, which was a problem that I was having when I was head ref.
Okay.
But they were using it, and I love it. It's so much fun. It adds so much more to the game. And then like for the people who are like, yeah, I don't want to do that, you can just be like, hey, I want to do that. Can you help me get over there and do that? And they're usually like, yeah, let's go.
Oh, see, that's a really good point you bring up because
not everybody's crazy about it, which I understand.
Yeah.
Not
everyone has to use it on the field that's enabled for it. Like some people can use it, some people don't. It doesn't matter.
I feel like for the points to truly matter, literally everybody has to use it.
Oh, for sure.
So like
if you're playing
everybody has
very
to
objective heavy
properly.
game,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and at the end of the day, even if the points truly matter, it's an airsoft game, and it doesn't really matter.
Dude, I know they don't matter because the first milsim I went to, well, not even before that, when my boys started going to milsims, they come back and I'm like, oh, they're telling me all about it. I'm like, oh my God, this sounds fucking amazing. Like, cool as shit. And I was like, well, who won? Because they're like, we were on green team or we were on tan team. They had green team and then, and this and that. And they had these points where they, you flip a switch inside here, and they had GoPros on. I was editing all their videos, so I'm seeing this stuff. They're like, open a laptop, just like, Call of Duty and shit, and or Rainbow Six, whatever. And, flipping this switch, and I have to hold this button, and gather these points. And I was like, bro, this is awesome. And then at the end, I'm like, well, so who won? Well, we don't know. Like, I mean, tan team won. They're like, tan team won. But they're like looking at each other like, well, I get, tan team won. That's right. Like it's not like a big deal. And I'm like, well, how many points did you guys get? So as I started doing these podcasts recent, in the last year or something, 2 years, people, I'm going, what about like having a competition, like Speedsoft tournaments, how they do, like, what about a tournament for like milsims? And so many people are just like, yeah, I mean, it sounds cool, but we don't really care who wins. I'm like, what, that doesn't compute for me, bro.
Yeah, like, I've always cared. Like,
yeah.
When before I worked at NA, when I was playing all the time, I skipped team deathmatch. If I knew that was the next game, I'd just skip it. Even if I had just skipped a game because I was tired, if the next game was team deathmatch, I'd skip it. Unless I was just itching to run and play. Because I wanted to win. I wanted to know that I helped my team achieve a victory. I wanted to raise a flag, and if it didn't win, I want to know that I was there trying to raise that flag, That's what I wanted out of it, and that's what brings the fun for me. Like, just going out there and shooting people is not really what I go to Airsoft for. It's like going out there, risking your life, and trying to achieve something to bring your team to victory. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
So when they were like, oh, the skirmish thing, and I was just like, oh, I got to do this all the time. So I was trying to do it all the time, and then people were losing the wristbands. So then I had to figure out how to mitigate that. And then it's like, because then I would run out of wristbands and I wouldn't have any, and then I couldn't do it anymore because I didn't have wristbands. And like, not everybody wanted to use it. Like, that was another thing. Like, one of the things at Nashville that I think is real special is the average customer is a tourist. Nashville is one of the highest tourist traffic cities, landlocked cities in the world.
Yeah, it is.
People come here from all over the place, and there's no ocean nearby.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say. And so, like, your average customer at NA is just somebody who's trying to find something to do for a few hours while they're in the city. So they don't care about whatever this is in the light. They don't care about that. They're just here to shoot people with a gun.
It's like going to laser tag with your friends when, on a Friday night or something.
Right. That's what your average person there, like, probably 40 to 50% of the people there are there to do. So most of those people don't care about that. They're just there to be there with their friend, play a game, and be like, "This hurts," and not want to play anymore, and waste $50. So, and then people would like break the boxes. I kept running into a lot of issues with it, and it got to a point where I didn't have boxes, so I was running it, and then that was like right around the point where I stopped working there. So they didn't use it for a while because it's a bunch of teenagers. Can't blame them. And then they started using it again. They don't use it enough. They don't utilize it enough, and
there's probably not a core group of people that are using it regularly and want to use it regularly that are there regularly to teach the new people. Because I know, like at some of these other indoor fields, like where it's really popular, they have you see their leaderboards for that particular field or whatever, and it's they're there all the time. They're always, every weekend or whatever, they're getting points.
Trying to get those points.
They're competing with each other. There's definitely like a handful of people that help these other the new guys come in and say, hey, here's how you use this thing.
I was one of those guys. Every chance I could, like I'd clock out for my break and play. If and I'd play one specific game, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to give away all my secrets. Played one specific game so that I could play 1 to 2 of those games and get top 5 on the weekly leaderboard, and I was doing that pretty often. As like every chance I could, I was like, "All right, we're not busy. Everybody here is working together, playing nice. I don't got to yell at nobody. I'm gonna get my kid on. I'm gonna go get some points," and I would do that as much as possible.
Nice.
Like when we got it, I was immediately thinking when he was there that first day, Brandon was there the first day. I was immediately thinking like doing like a Rainbow Six Siege style tournament with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to unlock doors with it, and instead of using wristbands, you're using like cards and stuff. And
gotcha.
Like KDK, they have oddball, like Halo style oddball, where they have one of the units is in a 3D printed like glow in the dark skull.
Yeah,
and you pick it up and you carry it around. Of course,
awesome.
You can't hit anybody with it, but like it's oddball in the fact that it's a mobile King of the Hill. Which is awesome, which is something I really wanted to do and never got a chance to do. Like the whole using the system as a role play device as well, like with the Rainbow Six Siege, like you got to unlock a door with it, where it's like you're breaking into a bank's vault and you're holding up your card to collect the money out of it, like stuff like that. And it's an RFID chip, so it could be in literally anything. I could put it in a picture frame, glass bottle, right? So like it's just the limitless possibilities with this system. Nashville's not using it enough. If I was there, I would be using it all the time.
You can cater like gameplay style or game modes around it, and I
came up with the point collection system.
Yeah.
That was my originally idea. I was like, hey, is there a way that I could just stay there, hold it as long as possible, and get points? So he coded that into there. So there's like the point collection thing.
Oh, really?
Yep. That was
good for you, bro.
Yep. That was my idea. Got to take some credit for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to. One of the guys I just had on this podcast came out just a few days ago. He and his friends host a Star Wars event. Role play event, and they had over 100 people their very first event last year, and they're going to be doing another one this year here in a few months or whatever, and they're looking at they're going to be using the Skirmesh system for it, and it sounds really cool, man. So
I've been trying to get ACS on it, but their problem is they're an outdoor field and they don't have internet that they're using like for Verizon to keep their shop going, which is definitely not what you want to be running the system off of. You want a strong Wi-Fi or a strong Ethernet, because it's definitely internet based. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that's stopping them. And I'm just like, dude, just freaking pay whatever and get internet. Like they're those guys, they're doing just fine. They need to get on that.
Get Starlink. I mean,
something, yeah.
Starlink's everywhere, bro. My son lives out. He bought a house last year out in middle of freaking nowhere. Okay, like in South Carolina here. Actually, over by Boiling Springs, called Pauline. A town called Pauline. Edmond. It's just south of. Nobody's heard of it because it's so small. The square mileage is large, like it's a large area, but the population is really low, right? So it's a lot of woods and shit. So he had no internet out there. There was one weird company that supplies internet to these places out in the sticks like that.
Yeah,
in
they were
South
robbing
Carolina,
everybody.
called Hughes or something. Yeah, it sucked ass. Okay, it was like 2.5 megs a second. Okay, like so, and it was overpriced, right? So he canceled that and he got Starlink RV. So the RV mode or whatever. So it's portable.
Yeah, it's just on his house or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He took the thing, he set it out in the backyard where there's no trees around, and pulled the app up on his phone and hit go, and the shit literally just started turning itself to find the satellite. It's fucking great, bro. It's great.
Everything I could say about it. It's so cool. Like
a lot of potential.
The amount of potential that it's just constantly developing too, and it's like two guys. It's mostly Brandon and some of the dude helps them. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't even think he's made a dime yet. I hope he has. He's getting a lot more people. He's like they're on. I haven't watched any of it, but they're on KWA's like Fight Night and stuff. They've got some official.
They just started that recently.
Yeah, that's super big. I'm really excited about that. That means like everybody's going to see it at this point because everyone watches those videos. Yeah, and that was all because he was just like the same situation you were saying. He just didn't know who won. And he wanted to know who won so bad.
Right.
So he just made a system where he could figure out who won. And that's very important. Like I was saying, like one of the things I want to talk about that I love about Airsoft is winning and going out to eat with your friends afterwards and having a nice dinner. Winter dinner. I love that. You make a couple new friends and then you win and then you go out and you have some cheeseburgers. It's a great time.
It's really important, I think, in just in general in life, in certain things, it's important to have, like in games, it's important to have a winner and a loser. It's important to have, if there's objectives, if there's, there has to be. It's fun. The loser doesn't always be like, oh, I'm hanging my head. I'm so sad. I'm gonna cry. This sucks. Whatever. I'm never gonna play again because I lost.
Not like a baseball game or people don't really get that salty. And then like the tournament stuff, that happens. People get salty like that. Really? Which I guess something we can talk about because I've done a lot of tournaments. I didn't write that down.
It's a maturity level where you just have to, you do it enough, and if you have the right coaching. Because I remember, as little kids growing up, when I was playing, baseball when I was very young. I started playing football when I was 4th grade, and baseball even younger than that. It was, you learn good sportsmanship at the end of the game. Every game we played, even from the first ones we started, at the end of the game, no matter how upset you were, how mad you were, if you lost, whatever, you went across the field and slapped hands or shook hands with the other team.
PG, good game.
Yeah, good game, man. Good game. Even though it wasn't a good game for the loser, right? It was still, hey, we both competed. We tried hard, and
we spent the couple hours playing a game.
Yeah, man. And there's a winner and a loser. And when you go out afterwards, like what you're talking about, you go out after, and if a lot of you guys are friends, even the team you played against, you all hang out. You have good stories. You're like, dude, I got you so good, man. I'm like, oh, I know, man. I fucked up, and I zigged when I should have zagged, and you shot me in the face. Okay.
Yeah, that's like two of my favorite things is the making new friends, and then like winning games and going out to eat afterwards.
Nice.
And then my number one favorite thing about Airsoft is like I call it that moment. It's like when you're playing and you just like stop for a second, you just like look around and you're just like seeing everybody else playing, and they're like, this one dude's over here and he's like, they're over there, and you got this other kid over here like crouching and like terrified, and like you see everyone else over here like trying so hard to get to this one building, like, and just like you just see everybody just having fun and playing this stupid silly game where we're shooting plastic balls at each other. And like it just like you just sit, you can just feel the energy where everyone's just like there and they're just in it and they're just having a fun time. And the only thing I can compare it to is like being in a band. And like when you're in a band and you're all playing together, you all like tune into the same radio station in your mind and you're all on the same frequency and you all work together. Like when one dude wants to change, you already know that it's about to happen and you start playing the next thing because you know he's about to change. Even if it's not something you discussed before, it's just like a natural thing, and that happens with me when I'm out there. And I got this one dude over here just like screaming for his life after he got shot, and it's just like I get overwhelmed in that moment. I'm like, oh man, we're all out here really doing this right now. This is so goofy, and I'm having so much fun. Like it's like this plastic gun is shooting so straight. I'm getting everybody. Oh, like just that moment. That's what I play Airsoft for. It's like I have it at least once every time I play throughout the day. It's not every single game. Sometimes you got some real rough ones. Sometimes you got some ones where you can't even get anywhere. And it's like you don't really have that moment. But every now and then, like I had it when I was at Noob Day. We were playing Juggernaut, and they had these 3 guys on a 4-wheeler. One was on the back with a mounted and big machine gun. I don't remember what. And one guy was in the back and the side with an RPK, and they were just ripping ass through the field and just. Dude, and I was on their team. So when I saw my whole team just like swarming the field, and everyone was just like, yeah. Like watching that dude do that, and all the other, there was like 5 juggernauts and that car. It was pretty overwhelming. Like that I had that moment then. I was like, man, we're out here doing this right now. This dude's driving around on this 4-wheeler, just mowing the enemy down. These guys can't get anywhere. They're having one of those games where they can't get anywhere, and I'm on the other side, and it feels so cool.
Oh, that's so cool. Hell yeah.
That's like my number one thing. That's why I like continue to do it. I haven't done it as much. I've been working a lot, and I like work at a golf course in the kitchen, so like I'm always working on the weekends.
I was say now this summertime, spring and summer, man, it's you guys busy.
Fall is our really busiest time, but we're pretty booked up, and the only days we're not booked are days the Airsoft isn't happening, so I'm just kind of boned there. But they pay me well, and I need money, to survive. I want to say one other thing I want to touch on, like my favorite things about Airsoft is reloading. I love reloading so much. Before I started playing, or before I started working at NA, I was running an M4 kit with 5 30-round mags. Okay. Like the Evike BAMF 30 rounders.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh man, I just love having to count and like keep track and reload, that moment where you're like, I'm out, I have to reload, or I'm about to be out, I should probably reload. Like being in that moment, that's probably one of my like third favorite things about Airsoft. Just like people hate it, they like go around with their box mags and stuff, and they're like shaking around. Yeah, like
most people don't like reloading. That's why they do the tap mags.
Love every second. I just get out of
bro. Do you follow Mayday San?
No.
On Instagram or YouTube, dude, check him out. His I had him on the podcast. He's in Japan. He's his fucking reloads are insane. During that podcast, he tells me, I was like, how did you get so good at reloading? He said, well, during all the lockdown shit, that's all he did was practice. He said he played video games, so he would play COD, and he would watch the animation.
I was trying to find it. I'll find it some other time.
Yeah, it's Mayday, like Mayday, and then SAN, Mayday-san. Yeah. All one word. You search on YouTube and on Instagram, you'll find him. But he's got some really good short clips of his reloads. He has perfected the reload so fucking good. It's so smooth, dude. It is so fast.
It's so much fun. That's like one of my favorite parts. Like, that's why people are like, "Are those the 30 rounders? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Dude, having a blast. What are you doing?"
He does the same thing. He actually went to the shorter round mags because he wanted to add some, action in there.
It gets your adrenaline pumping. Like you're stuck in that moment, and I got her. I have to reload, or this guy's gonna come in here and blast me out.
Yeah.
And and then
he talks about that a lot actually during the podcast, because he's like, there's time, it makes it so exciting because you're, like you said, you're stuck in a situation like, oh shit. He said sometimes he'll do the whatever it's called where you reload before your mag's empty,
Yeah.
And then like the tactical reload or whatever.
I do a lot of pistol, so I'll run around with like a mag like in my hand with the pistol.
Oh shit.
Just ready to go like that, and then I'll just hold the old mag and put it in my pouch if I grab a new one.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Okay.
You can't really do that with a real pistol.
Yeah.
But you can definitely get by with an airsoft pistol and do that. And I do that a lot. I love reloading. I love gas guns. I love the tiniest mags. Most of these guns back here are gas.
Show off some of your guns, bro.
It's like so one of the coolest parts about being the ref was getting to shoot everybody's gun, because you had to chrono it, right?
Oh, right.
So, I'd get to share everybody's gun. Sometimes you'd be the first person to shoot their gun because they'd be like, "Oh, I just
got it."
You'd be the first person to shoot their gun. That'd be super fun. But I love gas guns because gas guns are like, it adds that extra realism. Adds that you have to reload. I have to take the headphones off in order to reach over there. So.
Oh, can you bring the guns
closer? Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring
closer to the camera and just hold them up to the camera.
Yeah, give me a second. All right, we'll start off with the piece that I never use because I'm kind of scared to. This is the Mauser that Dylan from NA, the technician there. If you go there and you get your gun fixed, he's the one who does it.
Nice.
He went to a thrift store and found this original holster. It's got the original screwdriver. Nothing in here. And also found a different surplus store. He found the stock. So this is a real Mauser stock.
Whoa.
Yep. He had to mill it out a little bit in order to fit the airsoft gun.
That's cool as shit, bro.
But it's he wanted it to look like the red line from Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So I don't use this because it's real rare and expensive, and I don't want it to break because I can't afford to fix it, and then I don't get a broken gun. I got enough broken guns laying around. I'm not a guy who likes fixing his guns. Never have been. That's why you got to make friends with people like Dylan,
That's cool as hell, though. Where'd you get that again?
Dylan, he had brought a bunch of guns in. He was hard up for some cash, and he was trying to sell it to the shop so the shop would sell it. And I was like, dude, I'll buy that. And he was like, all right, $50. And I was like, dude, come on. Come on. Give me a realistic price. And he was like, all right, $70. I paid him $120 or something for it.
Okay.
I just couldn't pay him just $70 for this. This is a work of art. He brushed the metal himself.
Dude.
This is the tassel from his graduation helmet or hat or something like that.
What? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I paid
very
him
nice
price for it.
Yeah, that is rare. Yeah, so most people definitely not only do not have that, but have not seen that airsoft gun.
Yeah, full metal. Mm-hmm. Definitely afraid to use it. Definitely afraid to sell it too. It's one of those things that you get that you're like, yeah, I can't sell this to anybody. I have to hold on.
Now, is that a green gas?
Green gas. It has a green gas mag and there's 4 green gas mags and a HPA tap mag, and the mags hold 7, 8 BBs.
Oh, that's awesome.
My favorite gun to play with, absolutely best number one favorite gun, is this gas UMP.
Whoa.
Blanking on the company. Elite Force, I want to say VFC.
Okay.
The gas VFC Elite Force UMP. This is the best gun, most fun gun I have, not the best gun. It doesn't shoot that well. The hop up's super stupid to mess with. Mag holds 12 to 20 BBs, maybe. And it doesn't stop. Like, it won't walk back when you run out of BBs. So I'll be out there and I'll be shooting, and it'll just keep me shooting, and then I'll be like, oh, like, how did that guy not call his hit? And it's like, oh, I didn't have any BBs in my mag. And every single mag, it'll just keep cycling. I got this off of the gas tech at NA. Smalley. He's the number one gas tech I know. He said if I ever need help fixing it, hit him up. But nothing wrong with it, except for that, and I'm not really that worried about it. I just have so much fun playing this gun. I don't have gas for it, but it goes clack clack, and it's just like so much fun. Just clack 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 clack. Oh man, it's so much fun.
Now, what are the
overgrip?
The mags are
overgrip.
The mags are supposed to be crazy expensive for those.
Yeah, it's like a $60 mag, $100 mag. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
it's so big. I can't believe it only holds like
right, like
15 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't count them. Right, I just put them in there until it stops, and I swear it's not that many.
Yeah, it looks cool. Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's super dope. A lot of hype around the gas blowback rifles now.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan because it just I don't know, just again mostly because of the magazine capacity.
Yeah.
Like limits you there, and you got that little bit of recoil. It just it just feels right. This is my everyday belt. It's the one I wore when I was reffing all the time.
Yeah,
it's the one I wear when I'm playing all the time. It's just got 2 dump outfits. I never have enough, and I really like the ones that hold up real tight.
Okay,
these are this one's like a Falcon, and probably Condor or something. Belt's Condor. Got the AAP holster because I have 2 of those. And then not a lot of fields allow melee, but NA does. So I've got 3 throwing knives.
Nice.
And these are little foam. You can get these for $10 on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
They're like 0.5 ounces.
Yeah, real flimsy.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one over here. This is the 1 in 1,000 lever action, and I had Dylan help me customize it with some wear and tear. I wanted to make
awesome, dude.
I wanted to make it look post-apocalyptic for Rev.
Yeah.
And then I had a custom gold Nashville Airsoft logo vinyl sticker made, and I wanted to make it look like it was like brass inlay. That's the sticker.
That does look like that, bro. That's fucking awesome. Okay.
Right. And then, some leather jacket strips. This thing's dope. Individual magazines, as in BB, 1 BB per bullet shell. You put it in there.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
13 with 1 in the chamber. You cycle it. It pops out the top. So you can
that's cool.
Really easy. Coolest gun I have. Shoots real good. Don't use it often because it's so rare, and I don't want to have to fix it. And it's like, I don't know.
Just not only that, but if the shells eject,
right? And I played with it a little bit at NA.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this and you have one of these, or you use those shells at all in like revolvers, those shells hit cement floors, they'll dent, and you won't be able to put BBs in them anymore. They'll get stuck, and then you got a busted shell that costs almost $1.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're not cheap. So yeah, I don't play with them at. They'll play with this at NA because it'll hit the thing. So when I do, my technique is I'll shoot, and I'll either get back and put my hand here and just catch it.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I'll just do it like that and try and catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just hold 2 or 3 in my palm empty until I can't hold them anymore and put them in a pouch or something. And then just keep doing that. And more often than not, I'm going behind cover and trying to make sure I actually catch it because they are so expensive.
Right.
Yeah. I tried getting a brass catcher for it, but that didn't work out too well. Other cool post-apocalyptic
because they're coming out the top. Ooh, look at that.
This is the Mosin. Chopped it.
Bro.
It's Oberez size with the stock.
Okay.
Did the same thing. We wanted it. Dylan helped me post-apocalyptic it. Got these little charms hanging it. Bought this charm at Rev off of. I swear this was I think one of the coolest things about Rev, I didn't talk about this, is a lot of people show up just to be NPCs.
Yeah. Right.
So this was someone who showed up with like a Costco box of potato chips and some cooler full of sodas, and then a bunch of like little dumb stuff like this. It says this charm will throw your enemy's shot off by 3 degrees. What it says. And she had some stuff like that, and I traded her in-game currency for it. Right.
Nice.
So I swear that person didn't work for Battlehack, and they were just there to have a good time. So I bought that off of a little magic charm. Mosin, coolest rifle to ever exist. Has an ejecting mag, which Mosins don't have.
That's cool.
I bought 3 of these. I think only 2 of them, 3 or 4 of them. I think only 2 of them actually work now. Got like a tool that comes in them. This gun's kind of a piece of crap. It was for the longest time until we over-resed it. It was like, full length.
Full length.
Not sniper Mosin, but like carbine Mosin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've got 2 of the actual real Mosins up here.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the coolest rifle ever. Oh, you got the Archangel? Man,
you got the Archangel on it.
It's the coolest rifle ever. You know all about it.
That's the regular one with the original wood stock on it.
Yep, that's so cool. Yeah, so this was my. I tried to use this as much as possible when I was at Rev.
I'm sure, dude. That looks badass, though. I love how.
12, it's clack. How Mosin works.
Yeah, dude.
When we chopped it, we bored the barrel out a little bit better, and now it shoots like a dream. And it used to like shoot like 500 too, and now it's like 350.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's on the stock there? What do you got on that? Was it red
like
tape?
Orange tape and a piece of a white license plate. It's Rev. Everybody's got bottle caps and license plates on their stuff, so I just I got to put a license plate somewhere. So it's
and what do you have wrapped around it? Just where'd you get the leather stuff?
A jacket that I had for years that started to deteriorate, so I just ripped it to shreds and used the straps.
Wrapped around here, though.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's all the same. And the same thing on the Weaver Action. It's the same jacket, same leather.
And then how did you get it to stick? Did you glue it or
something? Dylan helped me with that. I don't remember what we were using.
Yeah.
Something. It's glued together. It's held sealed on there.
Because it looks tight. Yeah, it looks like it's tight.
Especially here. We definitely put a lot of it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. It looks cool as shit, bro.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Definitely never getting rid of this one.
Hell yeah.
I haven't bought a gun. The last gun I bought since I stopped working at NA was the Crytek Maxim 9, which I don't know if I have down here, and I'm sure you know all about. It's a cool gun.
I don't. Maxim 9?
Yeah, it's it's the Maxim 9, the integrally suppressed pistol. It's Silencer Co. is the company that makes the real one.
Oh, okay.
Shortly before my career at NA, I was running that M4 I was talking about.
Right.
And I was getting so sick and tired of people seeing my muzzle before they saw me and just like getting me.
Yeah.
So I went into the shop. They had this VFC MP5 on the wall. And I was making good money at my job, and I just bought this other gun like 2 weeks ago, the M4 I was using, maybe a month ago, and I was just like, dude, give me that $500 BFC MP5 up there. I don't care. Give me 6 mags. I want that thing right now. So,
that's funny.
This has been my number 1 used gun ever since. This is it goes everywhere. This is my backup. 1 is none, 2 is 1. This is my number 2. VFC MP5. Just got some crappy little silencer on there. You normally run a tracer on it.
Yeah.
This is for the battery because it's pretty crappy that they won't expect you to put a battery in there.
Right.
Got a custom 3-rail for it. People have a lot sexier MP5s than this. I do like it. I wish I did have more parts for it and it looked a little sexier, like the skeletonized, real skinny rail up here. But this thing's powerhouse. It's even got like a little bit of rust on it. That's how old it is. Like right there on the mag well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't go wrong with MP5. The way they look, it's such a unique look.
Yeah, and it's small. Gets even smaller. I can switch hands with it a lot. Like I never use a sling like ever. But yeah, right. I can easily switch hands with it no matter what's going on. I found out that Josh, the old owner of NA, would like let people order guns and like put them on layaway. They'd order like the shop would order it, and then they'd pay Josh like $50 a week or off their paycheck until it was paid off, and then they get their gun. Okay. So I found out that was a thing, and I immediately ran to Josh, and I was like, "Hey, Josh, no, I don't need this, but like I heard that you do this thing for people, and there's this gun I really want. Can we do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So caught me one of these with the special Josh layaway. Haven't done much to it. Can't wait to do everything to it. This is the Val.
Whoa.
Got a stock on it. Looks all lame. Yeah, I use this thing as much as possible. It's really heavy. This thing weighs like 12 pounds. This thing's heavy. Steel, LCT, AS Val. It's on my Chrono stickers. Got plastic handguard, plastic pistol grip.
Yeah.
But yeah, steal everything else. Yep. It's real stupid how you put the battery in here. You gotta like take the suppressor off, but that works like the real gun. So this is how you take the real gun suppressor off. You push this little button here.
Okay.
And then you turn it. And then you lift it up real carefully because the barrel's in there. And that's where your battery goes.
Whoa.
Probably shouldn't be plugged in. I feel a little embarrassed by that.
It's fine.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks to put back on because it has to go through this hole up here.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's crazy though.
Yep. This thing's awesome. I've been using this as much as possible lately. Because every time I've been playing, it's been kind of cold lately because I haven't played much since it warmed up. So I haven't been able to use any of my gas stuff too well.
Right.
So I've been rocking the Val and the MP5. This thing's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mostly really like the MP5 and the Val because they're both very, very heavy. The MP5 weighs like 9 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's like, gets you an arm workout carrying this thing straight up all day long,
Right.
I play a lot of Russian video games like Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
Play this one in VR called Into the Radius. I use the Val a lot in that one.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty crappy gun IRL. Not the greatest. Super cool looking though.
Yeah, it is.
Almost done. What do you got? You got something to show off?
Yeah, my let me share the screen. Hold on a second. Let me get it set up. I'm going to give you my my experience, my very first experience playing Tarkov. Okay. Let me bring up the screen for you real quick.
I love Tarkov. I haven't played much this wipe, like at all. Like this wipe happened, or the latest wipe happened, whatever, before Christmas. And I played like a week, and I kind of stopped. Been playing lots of other games. My roommate, who I play a lot of games with, hates Tarkov, hates games like that. So I want to play games with him. So I just try to find other things.
All right,
but I have like 3,000 hours in Tarkov.
Damn, bro. Okay. Yeah. Let me know if you can see that. You should have to click.
Yep.
Watch stream or something. You see it?
Yep.
Is it playing for you?
Yep.
It's a really short video. Watch. This is my first experience, okay? Getting everything set up. Getting ready. Here we go. I'm all psyched to get in there.
Oh, you went at night and you stepped on a landmine. Oh my god!
look at my body.
Dead. Oh man,
that's it, dude. That's it. That's my whole.
There's like ways you can mitigate nighttime. You know, you can like change the settings to where you can make the screen brighter, right? But yeah,
so
it's never.
Dude, I was trying to figure out because my boys were playing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna download this game. I'm gonna try it out. So in between like videos we were working on or whatever, you know, for our YouTube channel, I was like, yeah, let me try this game out. So I went on there, and I'm just trying to learn the game. So I get in there. It takes forever. My computer's a little slow, so it took forever to set up my character and get everything in. And then I walk off in the dark, and then all of a sudden I feel that explosion, and I was like, oh shit. And then the second one, I was like, oh fuck, what the?
Yeah, so like the way they do, that's the woods. The way they do the perimeter, and a lot of it is there's just landmines, and if you go up there, yeah, you're just gonna get blown up. There's landmines in other parts surrounding like
snipers
and stuff and snipers. Yeah, that's the way they do boundaries and that.
So I told my son about it. I said, I don't know what happened, dude. I didn't know what happened. Even you know, when I was in there, I was like, what the fuck? And I just saw, I was like, it shows how many limbs I lost, all of them. Okay. And all this. And I was telling my son about it. I said, well, come here and look. I was recording a video. So he starts laughing. They're like, dude, him and his friends, they were like, you walked into the minefield. I said, he goes, didn't you see that sign over there? It's like, it's fucking dark as shit. I didn't see anything.
It looks like he went in at like 4 or 5 in the morning. You gotta go in the daytime unless you got night vision, because especially if late in a wipe, if you go at nighttime, everybody's got night vision and you're just gonna get beamed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a game you really got to learn how to play, and you can't pull up a map. So if you don't have a second monitor or like your phone out with the map up, you're kind of screwed there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've learned a lot of them at this point. You know, I don't really need a map, but I still use a map all the time. I haven't played much this wipe, but I've put like 3,000 hours into that. I was playing it all the time. Airsoft ref. Always had a bear patch on my referee plate carrier.
Nice.
You know. People would always be like, oh man, you play Tarkov? Or they'd be like, oh man, I'm Bear. That's what people call me. Where do I get that? And I'm like, yeah, it's some Tarkov.
Oh, it's funny. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This is the end of part 1. Stay tuned for the part 2 on the next episode of the Trifecta Airsoft podcast.